The 1812 Double Pro. This is a 118-day product, so right away, you're like 118 day. That's getting a little bit long for what we're thinking about here in Champaign County. I know some would go that long, and others are just thinking, heck no. But from an overall moisture perspective, it certainly holds its moisture more than those 115s and that initial from when it finishes maturity, hits full R6 to down to about 22, 23%. It certainly holds its moisture a little bit more than those products, but once stuff starts getting down to sub 22%, you'll really see it get within a half point of the 115 days out here. So it's kind of is a full 118 up until that point, and then afterwards I call it more like a 116 from a moisture range because it's pretty close to right on top, just a hair wetter. This overall package, I'd say the Stay Green isn't as, it's not as good as those 115s. I think you see a lot of these leaves with some tanned out, some pinkish looking, meaning that they definitely got zapped from either the drought or some drought and some heat combined together. But you definitely see some what I would call leaves dying a little prematurely and the color not going out of them in a natural way. So I think that's why this canopy doesn't look as healthy as the 115s. From an ear side and just yield potential, this thing has got it's 118 day, and if everything went according to plan, all the latest RM stuff should be the highest yielding stuff, should be all the highest yielding material. But this ear size is just enormous, and in a non-stressful year, some of these ears that you see some of the tip back on, they're setting 18 to 20 around and going close to 30 long. They'll go over 30 long in a non-stress year. Now, with the stress, you see they've got tapped back to about a 27, 28 total, but just a tremendous yield potential and upside that can come out of this product when conditions are allow it to truly respond. It's a small cobbed, very deep kernel. So once again, I mean, this thing, if we put it up against our entire lineup from a just yield upside, I think this is the one that could far and away go above and beyond everything else if the year allows it. But you see some of these years, it under stress, and this might just have been the timing of when this one was flowering and going through pollination. But you see some of this is zippering starting to show up and the ear tucking in on itself. You see some of that, and that just speaks to some stress. I don't think this one has the necessarily the best stress tolerance as we're going into the early reproductive stages. But from everywhere else, I would say it's fine. It can handle, the early June drought that we had. It can handle that. It can handle other things. But it's just with this ear size and what it does, I think it may be a little bit more sensitive to drawing back on itself, more so than the other ears, just because it sets such a consistent 18 to 20, 22 around style ear. But excited to see the results on this product. As you can see, it's still got a little bit of ways to go. It's probably got at least a quarter of a milk line left before it finishes, but excited to see how everything turns out here in 2023.